Hello, welcome back in to Wenzel's World, and this is the second day, and it's Monday of the a week in Wenzel's World. So today I'm sitting out here smoking on my Rossi pipe, and usually I put the Peterson's nightcap in it, but I got a different blend, and I've been kicking around trying to find different blends that I like in case that uh, Scandinavian group does something crazy, kicks up the prices real high, or, just looking for other options. So anyway, I listened to somebody on YouTube. I never seen him before, and he was talking about a particular tobacco, and it is Drucker and Sons. So I don't know if you ever heard of Drucker and Sons. And this is the particular what. Now they got several different blends. And this is the first one that I've had of it. And of course you can see there it's called Rue Botania. It's an English crumble plug. So in this particular can right here, you had a plug of it in the bottom. Then you had one of these little old things, one of them little paper things. It's down there in the trash. I'll leave it. It don't matter. And then it was up on top of that plug, and it had another plug on top of that. Of course, I took it out, put them in a jar, whatever I did with it, right yonder. It don't matter. You don't know. It don't matter. Anyhow, so then I took and put the plugs in that jar over there. And so now I'm trying this. This is the third one I've had of it, third smoke of it. Says about it, let's see if I can just cut through some of this stuff. Now, this is a GLP's blend. Okay, Drucker and Sons Limited, founded in London, 1841. But this GLP's has got something to do with it. Anyway, let's see. It says about it now. This is English blend. Okay, that's the reason it caught my attention. I thought, okay, another English blend. Okay, other than the nightcap, which I enjoy, but it's put out by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So then, and looking for different blends, and I mean, where else you gonna go to hardly other than GOPs or which there's some blending places. I need to check out some of these other ones. But anyway, let that be as it may. So then this right says about it, it is a harmonious blend of spicy Turkish tobaccos. So we got that down. Carefully balanced with bright red Virginia leaf. That's where this little bit of heat comes from. Sort of reminds me of a red hot. Remember them little red hots? The way they do your tongue. Now it's not. It ain't exactly the same. Okay, that's just it reminds me of that. Then also it's got beyond the bright and red Virginia leaf. It's got Latakia adds depth and smoky sophistication for a refined English style. So that's what you got in some Turkish tobaccos, some Virginia tobaccos, and Latakia tobacco. So that's what's in this here smoke right here. And I tell you what it reminds me of. I hadn't had any in a long time, but it reminds me of that Psyllium Black. Psyllium Black. Uh, I don't know if you ever had any of the psyllium or not, but it comes in a tin. It's not like this tin at all, and it's not the little flat tins, or it's not a little square tin, but it is a little, maybe you'd call it a rectangular shaped tin box. Okay, psyllium. That's the only way I know to pronounce it. They got psyllium green and psyllium something else and this and that. Well, the only kind I've ever had of that is black, and it to me it was riding in first class on the plane. Okay, type of tobacco. Well, that's what this tobacco here reminds me of. Sort of like riding in first class. Okay, so it's good taste. The taste of it reminds me of that particular blend that I've had. So anyway, and of course, with all this chatter, pipe's gone out. And this is the little pipe that don't want to start good every time, or they're a little lighter. Bought that lighter brand new, paid $12 for it. I don't know what the deal is with it. It's a Zippo. It don't want to light every time for some reason or another. Well, I got up this morning, studied like I do every morning, 'cause different reasons for that. First reason is 'cause I want to, and second reason 'cause I need to. And the want to and the need to is two different things, but they really do go together. So when you put them together, then you get a lot out of you reading. And so I went and got me up some breakfast and seen to the livestock on this cool day. I don't know what it is. It's probably when I left out of the house this morning, it was 38. If it's 40, then it's barely. But anyway, it's cloudy and it's finally quit raining. It rained throughout the night. So far, we've had six and a quarter inches. Yeah, I think that's what it is. 6.25 inches of rain so far since it started last Thursday, last week. Get all that smoke out of there so I don't get choked on it trying to talk. Uh, so I had somebody get a hold of me and want me to make them a Bible cover. So I don't know whether you can see it or not laying there. I've been working on it this morning and afternoon. It's also afternoon now. And this is what I've got done so far. I got a leather half cowhide over there, so I measured and cut this out of it. Done all my stamping from my border around the edge here and everything. And then put the words on it that he wanted on it. And he wanted this right here printed on the spine of it. So it's a big Bible. I know it's a pretty good size looking cover. It's 18, I think, half inches long, 18 and a half by 11 and a quarter. And his Bible, I think it's 17 and 3/8 by 10 and a quarter. So then by the time you build the sleeves that you put on the inside and then take and do the double loop stitch around the edge, then you've got some good play wiggle room, because that Bible, the Bible itself's cover has got to slide in and out of this here. It don't slide completely out. You don't want that. But it's got the either the front or the back one. It's got to slide up in them sleeves a little bit. If it's a stiff covered Bible cover, they slide up and in there real good. If it's one of them real soft ones, I mean, just I don't know what's made of, goat leather, sheep leather, or something, calf leather, or something other. They're about like a dish rag or something. It's hard for them to slide up inside that sleeve there. So got to make it just a little bit bigger, and I'm not real sure what kind of what quality of leather covers on that Bible that the man's got. So anyway, I've been working on that this morning, so I gotta let it dry, and then cause you had to case the leather to be able to put them impressions on it. And then after you get all the impressions put on, you gotta let it dry, and then I'll take some Resolene, which is a stain blocker, and take a model card brush and paint them letters, and let that dry, and then I can take the stain and go over it all, and then it'll make them letters pop, because the stain don't penetrate that stain blocker. And then I put the stain blocker over on top of all of that. That seals it in from a drink that might spill on it, or rainwater, or something like that, or even the sweatiness of your hand. So you have to put a stain blocker on it, and then I'll do the lacing to it, and so forth, and put a snap on it, and then it'll be ready to use the rest of his life, because that's how long it should last. Now, the lace might not last that long, but that leather cover right there, that's the 5 to 6 ounce leather. It ought to be here whenever we all gone. So I've been thinking about something the last 2 or 3 days. Is pipe smoking addictive? Is pipe smoking habit forming? Now, I can't speak for everybody, okay? I'm going to speak for myself. So then, for me, if you were to ask me, is pipe smoking addictive? Meaning that you've got to have it. Oh, if you don't smoke some, you're going to get all shaky, and you're going to get all, bent out of shape, and, you're just addicted to it, where you've just got to have it. Okay. For me, it's not that way. I told you yesterday that I've been in a meeting, went to a meeting in North Carolina. I never did use any of it. I didn't use any on the journey. I didn't use any on the way back. I didn't use any while I was there. One thing, it wasn't convenient, but you know, most of the time I never thought about it. Most of the time I never thought about smoking a pipe. So for me, if you were to ask me, and sometimes people say that to you, oh, out there smoking that pipe, it's addicted, and so forth. And you'll get addicted to that. Okay, well, evidently, I'm not addicted to it. All you'll have, withdrawals. That's what they're thinking when they think of addiction. I didn't have any withdrawals from it. And I've done that before, it wasn't convenient to smoke, so I didn't smoke. Okay, and let me ask you another question. Is there a difference in pipe smoking being addictive and habit forming? Now, so you chew on that a minute, and let me fire this back up again. Is pipe smoking habit forming? If you were to ask me that, I'd have to say yes. But I make a distinction between addiction and habit forming. Okay? Now, it's not exactly the same, But the first thing comes to mind is eating. How many meals do you eat a day? Some people's going to eat breakfast every day. Some people don't. Why do you eat breakfast? Okay, if you ever missed breakfast, same thing with a noon meal. Same thing about, the evening meal. I have to say that because I classify it as breakfast, dinner, and supper. Okay, although most of the people in our day and time don't classify it that way. So why do you eat? If you eat 3 meals a day, why do you do that? If can you miss a meal? Do you? So if you eat 2 meals a day, I knew a fellow one time. He said he eat one time a day. He said he had a problem with the Agent Orange from Vietnam, and the particular job that he was in, he needed to stay lightweight. So he only eat when he got home after work in the evenings, and he stayed lightweight. Okay, so all I'm asking is then, and I'm making this statement that is there a difference between addiction and habit forming? You may have a habit of going to bed at a certain time. You may have a habit of waking up in the morning without an alarm clock at a certain time. Okay, well, how did that start? Well, it started out by doing something regularly, and it became a habit. So then, is a habit necessarily wrong? Now, there can be some things that are habit forming that it's not good for you. And we can deliberate all we want to about whether or not pipe smoking is good for you or not. There was a doctor I saw on line one time, and he was convinced that nicotine promoted a certain quality of good health, that your body needed nicotine. Now, he recommended using nicotine patches, okay? But, if you're using tobacco, then, you're getting nicotine. So, anyway, I thought I'd try to say something along those lines today. So, anyway, you chew on that. I don't know if you ever thought of it like that before. Maybe you have, maybe you hadn't. But you think about that. And so, next time you hear somebody say something other about, oh, out there pipe smoking, you get addicted to that stuff. Okay, well, what do you think they mean by that? And can there be any difference between a good habit, a bad habit, something that is habit forming, or something that is addictive? So, anyway, you think about it. Well, the rest of the day, I got to go see about what we're going to have for it ain't noon, it's done past it, so it's going to be the afternoon meal. And then I need to try to go out and see about worming, giving the goats some wormer. Got some baby goats. I'm hoping the sunshine comes out, warms up some. One day I want to go out there during this week and film a little bit, let you see them baby goats running around. So anyway, so until we meet again tomorrow, then have a good one.